If you like this video, why not subscribe? Hey folks, welcome to the Frugal Filmmaker, the place where we know you're broke before you start making your film. Today I want to talk about handheld shooting, which sometimes you have to do, but there are good ways and bad ways to do it. I recommend you do it with what's known as a two-handed stabilizer rig. This idea was probably developed by Sam Raimi and the Coen brothers when they slapped a camera on a 2x4 and had a guy on each end running around with it. This was further developed by director Mike Figgis, who made the Figrig, which was a steering wheel with a camera in the middle. Now that cost $300, which is way too much, but the idea is totally sound. I recommend you build one out of PVC pipe for less than $5. Now here's the basic rig, or the original rig, which gives you three things: 2 places to put your hands, 2 feet so you can set it on the ground, and a place you can mount your camera. And here I am using that rig, or a derivative of it, on the web series The Gap, which I'm one of the DPs for. And this rig allows you to do all kinds of handheld tracking shots, and even replaces a tripod sometimes when you need a quick setup. Now the thing that I didn't like about this rig, after using it quite a while, was the fact that you have to take your hands off of the rig in order to adjust the camera. It's nice to be able to have your hands close, especially on modern camcorders, which have a lot of their controls right on the viewfinder, like this one does. But by taking one of your hands off, you then unsteady the whole thing and put all the stress on one arm, which I didn't like. So I wanted a way to bring your hands closer together, so I revamped the rig to look like this. This gives you a handle on top, a handle in the back, and 2 handles that are really close to the camera. This gives you the ability to adjust anything on that view screen control or LCD control, either with a little joystick like this one or a touch screen. You can easily control with your thumb while holding onto the rig with the rest of your hand. This is a lot more convenient and lets the shot stay steadier. And of course, all different kinds of shots are possible with this. It's a floating camera, basically. And by the having your arms at a more 90-degree angle, or being able to move it up and down in a more vertical plane, you allow yourself much greater flexibility than a shoulder rig. Now here's your parts list. Note that all of this stuff, or almost all of it, is 1/2-inch PVC, either pipe or fittings. Here we have 4 lengths of 6 inches. Here we have 4 lengths of 4 inches. Here we have a shorter length of 3 3/4 inches, and one really short length of 1.5 inches. We have 5 T-joints. We have 4 elbow joints. We have a plug. And then for your spring assembly here, you have a spring, you have a 1/4 inch bolt that's 2.5 inches long and can be turned with a flathead screwdriver, and then you have 2 1/4 inch nuts. Here's the tools you'll be using on this. You have a drill, you have a flathead screwdriver, you've got a tape measure or a ruler to measure your PVC, you've got a way to cut it with PVC ratcheting cutters, $4 at Harbor Freight Tools. Don't use a hacksaw, this is way better. And you have a 7/16 or 1/4 inch socket. Okay, now really the only prep work for this project is going to be creating the spring-loaded screw that holds your camera to the stabilizer. And that's the parts right here. What we're going to do is you're going to drill a hole in both the plug and the PVC T's, a 1/4 inch hole. And notice how perfect it is this time, because I'm using a Dremel workstation instead of just a freehand. So it comes out pretty straight. But what you're going to do is take your 1/4 inch bolt and put it through this hole in the T. And you're going to drop your spring on top of it like this. Then you're going to drop one of your nuts on top of that. Just turn it by hand. And since your fingers are probably not going to be very narrow, instead of using like needle nose pliers to try and turn this, I'm going to use a ratchet head here, or a socket head, to just do the same thing. Works really well. You're going to hit the spring and you're going to get some tension. It's going to stop. You're going to feel it. There you go. Notice how perfect that is. Then just drop the second nut on top of that, which will lock the first one. Now you don't have to create a lot of tension on the spring here. You're just creating enough so that it doesn't unscrew itself. And there you go. You've got a nice straight bolt there that is going to be spring loaded. Now to put a cap on top of this, it actually is your plug, so that your camera has somewhere to sit and gives it a little stage in which to plant itself on. You're just going to put this in here and press down. And there you go. Now you have a spring-loaded screw that will hold your camera in quite nicely. Now you're going to build the rest of your rig around this little stage platform screw thing, which you can use for any number of rigs. Put your insert in one end, a little short piece, and then put one of your T-joints on the end of that. Then take your 3 3/4 piece and put it in the other end of your little stage screw platform there. Then take a couple 4-inch pieces and put them on opposite ends of the T-joint. And then you're going to take a couple more T-joints and put them on the ends of the 4-inch pieces, like so. Then take an elbow joint and put it in the very back, the back end of that 3 3/4 inch piece of PVC pipe. Then you're going to add your handholds, which are your 6-inch pieces, in all the open spots that are facing up, 2 in front and 1 in the back. Grab some more elbows after you squeeze the rig like this for some reason, and add the elbows on top of all the open pieces of pipe. After you find them, obviously I couldn't find them. So now you're going to have 3 elbows that are all facing one another, more or less. Take another 6-inch piece and put it in the back. That's your top handle. Put a T-joint on the end of that, and then your other 2 4-inch pieces in like so. And there's your basic rig. Now to attach your camera, all you have to do is put it on its side, hold the camera on top of the screw. Since it's spring-loaded, it's not going to go anywhere. And then get your flat-headed screwdriver and start turning. The screw will stay in the same place, and your camera will collapse right on top of the little platform that you've created. And in a matter of seconds, it's attached and it's not going anywhere. Now if you're feeling spendy, you can pimp out your rig a little bit more than this by adding bicycle handle grips onto each 6-inch piece, like so. Also cover the whole thing in hockey tape and then add a cross piece here and here, which will open up 3 accessory ports. The one on top I'm going to put our shock mount in, and then right underneath that I'm going to add a video light, which I've created with a Harbor Freight Tools flashlight that I put inside of a hinge T-joint. Added a 1/2-inch adapter to the bottom of that, and then put a 1/2-inch piece of PVC pipe under that as an insert. Now I can insert the whole thing into the rig, and I have a video light. Nice thing about this is I can turn it on and off with my right thumb and never have to take my hands off of the rig. Now this bottom accessory port we're going to talk about in the near future. I've got a special application for that. Now here I took the camera into the great outdoors, and I've got it set up with a wide-angle lens and a Canon XH-A1 lens hood. And this rig basically allowed me to do nice wides where I could push in and pull out. Here's a tracking shot where I'm walking backwards. The nice thing about this rig is I could actually walk forwards and turn the thing behind me by grabbing the back handle and one of the side handles. Couldn't do that with the previous version. It also allows for some nice static shots where you couldn't take a tripod like this one. Now later I had to go on a raft, so I added pontoons to the whole rig by zip tying milk jugs to the whole contraption. In case it fell overboard, it would float, ideally. I never had to test it, fortunately. These shots allowed me, or this setup allowed me, to get some nice panning shots from shore, like this one, and then later I would actually be on the raft, like so, for a POV, several POVs, where I'm hanging over the front. You can see the milk jug poking into the left side of the frame because I haven't cropped it yet. Or I would actually be on the raft shooting the characters. Again, notice the milk jug. Now this is one of my favorite shots with this type of a rig. This is a low angle circular tracking shot. I challenge anybody to do this kind of a shot with another kind of a rig. You can't do this with a Steadicam, it's too low, and a dolly would take forever to set up, a track dolly, so I'm glad I didn't have to do that. On a final note, I would just like to add that this rig is perfect for cameras that offer no optical image stabilization, like these small pistol grip cameras or a point and shoot that happens to shoot video. The rig offers all the stabilization you'll need. And that's your PVC stabilizer rig. It's easy to use, easy to build, doesn't cost that much, and the shots look great. If you like this project, please come to thefrugalfilmmaker.com for more, or you can find us on Instructable's Twitter, Facebook, and email at thefrugalfilmmaker@gmail.com. See ya!